So we are coming off the back of a 2-1 victory against our bogey team Brentford and are sitting pretty at second in the league and are guaranteed second place for Christmas Day, as we are 4 points ahead of Arsenal. So even if they win and we lose, still second. Not too bad, really, and not what anyone expected. In my video in the build up to the season in August, I was saying that we should be aiming for third, and I was called ridiculous. I was called crazy. Well, look at us now, overachieving, if anything, based on you lot standard. Even on mine, I was one of the more optimistic Chelsea fans, and this is still better than I'd hoped. But yeah, it's been a great ride so far. Happy to be second. Especially beating a bogey team Brentford. I think it's the first time we beat them at Stamford Bridge since we've been promoted. And Spurs, to be honest, I always knew we were going to be Spurs, even when we were 2-0 down after 10 minutes with the Kukurea slips and his having his boot malfunctions. I honestly didn't lose any composure. I saw him change his boots, so I was thought, okay, problem solved. And I saw after the kickoff, we were like knocking about like nothing happened. It got to a point where I was even trying to load a betting app on my phone so I could put £100 on us to win while we were 2-0 down. Do you know what's funny? The money wouldn't have even been the sweetest part. It would have been just the flex of being able to post a betting slip online saying, look, I always back my team. I put my money where my mouth is. And I guess the money would have been sweet too. But for some reason, my app didn't load up, and then Sancho scored and messed the odds up, didn't they? So great goal, by the way. But I just showed it's been so long since I could have my team go down and still have faith that when I come back. It's got my Chelsea back, man, and not much feels better. Like it's gonna be second at Christmas. It's crazy because I was called crazy when I said sacking Pochettino was the right answer. When I said he was holding us back and Maresca, I said it. You can check my video. I said Maresca looks like the manager to prove that Pochettino was holding us back. Now look, we're second. I said we should get fourth but aim for third. I said we were good enough to get third. Now we're second. And I think, to be honest, we have a better chance of winning the league now than next season, because Europe, being in the actual Champions League, assuming we get there, will make our season a lot harder. This season, we're literally, while everyone else, especially later on in the season, when it's going to be the Champions League quarterfinals, where Arsenal, City, and Liverpool are going to be scrapping out with some of the biggest teams in the world, games going to extra time, players getting tight, penalty shootouts, emotional roller coasters, and physical exhaustion, while we're strolling to 8-0 wins against FC Wi-Fi with our second team. And then we're both going to be going into the same weekends and Chelsea's going to have a fresh team, or they are going to be exhausted for fighting for their lives against the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan. So I think for a title race this year, it's definitely advantage Chelsea. So why not go for it? I know a lot of fans are reluctant to say we're in a title race. Listen, we've been on hiatus for 2 years. Like, no one expected us to be here, but we're here. Let's just enjoy it. Let's not block our blessings. We are in the title race. I don't think we're going to win it. I would like for us to win it. Like I said, I think it'll be our best chance to win it this season over next season, but let's not block our blessings. Like, let's be grateful. We're in the title race. Let's act like we're in the title race. But to be honest, I'm happy that Maresca and the players are managing expectations. Even Cole had a great quote after the Tottenham game. He was like, if we were title contenders, we wouldn't be going 2-0 down after 10 minutes, which is a very mature answer, a very calculated answer. I'm glad he said that. But as a fan, it's not my job to manage expectations. It's my job to expect. It's my job to enjoy the ride. And that's what I'm doing. We are second place. 2 points off top. They've got a game in hand, but Liverpool have a difficult game in hand against Tottenham. And I know we make easy work of Tottenham all the time, but Tottenham have a very good record against big teams that aren't Chelsea. So let's be hopeful. Until we're in the race, until we're not. If we lose a few games, drop a few points, then we fall out of contention. That's fine. But right now, we have a reason to be excited. Why not take it while we can? Obviously, not to a point to get arrogant and complacent, but while we're fighting for it, let's fight and let's act like we have a chance, because we do. It's an outside chance, but it's still a chance. And I'm going to grab that with both hands and enjoy the ride until the wheels fall off. Title race, Chelsea FC. Yes, this is where we belong. This is what we were made for. Since 2003, Abramovich took over. This is what we were built for. Anything less than a title race is a failure of a season. So we've been failing for 2 years straight. I wouldn't say we failed on the Tuchel when we came third. Like, we had the third best team, we came third and came off the back of the Champions League win. But I think if a lot of things didn't derail, like the government overthrowing our team, we would have had and Lukaku pressing self-destruct in his Chelsea career, we could have maintained a title challenge for a longer period of time than we did. But now we're in a position where there's no excuses for us to maintain our form. Like I said, we've got no midweek games. We've got a Conference League, but we don't have to play our big players while everyone else is scrapping out, fighting for their lives against European juggernauts. So let's make the most of this. January's come. To be honest, I would like for us to either start Jorgensen or buy a new goalkeeper. Sanchez did have a brilliant game against Brentford. I even said in my last video there, Sanchez does have the ability to be a very good keeper. He has the ability, but there's just something mentally that is missing and causes him to be complacent and inconsistent. I don't know what it is, but it's there, and we cannot rely on him if we're going to be a top team. I know a lot of people love Nicholas Jackson. I'm not going to lie. Pre-season under Pochettino, I thought he was the second coming of R9. But as time's gone on, he's proven otherwise. Obviously, under Pochettino, everyone, had a limiting factor. But I just think some of the fundamentals of a top striker aren't there for him. Even the people that rate Jackson the highest will say his ball striking ability is not the best. The position is called striker. If you can't strike, I'm not going to rate you as a top striker, no matter how good your other attributes are. And maybe as a Chelsea second choice number 9, but I don't think if we're going to push for honours, and we're in the title race now, there's no space for like maybes and players that can't cut it. I don't see Nicholas Jackson being a difference in a 0-0 draw against a top 4 team and just pulling something out of the bag, or just being that reliable person. If it's a flowing game, he gets space and it falls perfectly onto his right foot, he might win a free header. He'll beat a few players, and he's a good player all round, but he's not a great striker. And we're supposed to be a great team, so I want us to have a great striker. I don't think that's too much to ask for. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Even if it is, I'm asking for it. I think we had the right idea going in for Samu. He's killing it at Porto now, and John Duran, which as great as he's been, I have a similar critique of him as I would for Nicholas Jackson, that he's too one-footed. I don't really feel comfortable with that. I don't like the idea of just being able to show a striker onto one side of his foot and then he's nullified. Obviously, the majority of players have a strong foot. I'm two-footed. Maybe I'm talking from a point of privilege. Two-footed privilege over here. But I like my strikers to at least be adequate with both feet, even if they obviously most will naturally have one stronger foot. But in terms of our team performances, man, like Enzo, since he's deserted his family, has become a new man. I just hope he carries on. If he does, maybe we should find him a new family in pre-season. So as the season begins, we can desert him again and recapture that same form. But honestly, he's been fantastic. Caicedo, I've been streaming from the mountains that he is a better midfielder than Declan Rice. And the only people that disagree with me are a few of my mates and my older brother who are Arsenal fans. I don't think you'll be hard stretched to find someone that's not an Arsenal fan and not a Brexit England fan that will challenge me when I say Caicedo is better than Rice. And it was a whole different story a year ago. So I think that's one agenda I can put to rest and say I've won. I'm still going to apply pressure in my group chat on their necks. So until you lot concede, I'm still going to be on your necks in the group chat. But as for everyone else, I'm satisfied with the outcome of that. Sancho, man. We're seeing Dortmund Sancho come out to play, innit? Yeah, Maresca has got the boy feeling himself again. I'm loving that. Neto and Madueke is battling out for that right wing spot. Neto had a quietish game against Tottenham. I think he did okay. I just think he didn't. He was. I think he was. People were harsh on him. I think he did. He didn't do much wrong. He just like he didn't. Because we're used to Madueke, even when he's had a quote unquote bad game, he's always has moments where he beats a player. Maybe he does a dead shot or a dead cross, but he's always beating someone. Whereas Neto, I think he did the basics well, but he just didn't have that extra oomph that we've starting to expect from our wingers. But I think it was a harsh for Tottenham. And obviously, he was suspended for what's his face for Brentford. Yeah. But that's about it. We are in a title race. And I'm gonna embrace it. And as if any fellow Chelsea fans are listening, you embrace that too. Like this is a better season than I could have possibly hoped for. Hopefully you can end there, really challenging for the title and winning the Conference League. Although I don't watch the Conference League, I see them as training sessions. But it's also it'll be a cardinal sin to not win that. Like I've always said, the only way to prove you're too good for a competition is to win it. If you don't win it, then I don't want to hear it. You're not too good for it. So when the likes of Man City, Arsenal all say stuff like, "Oh yeah, Europa League," you've been in that competition a couple times and not won it. So Chelsea have 100% record in that competition. We are officially too good for it. I want to keep the same energy for the Conference League. But yeah, until the FA Cup starts and if we get to the latter stages, we have no reason to be dropping sloppy points in the Premier League. So I do expect us to really put Liverpool to the sword and make them work for that first place. There's no reason why we can't. The squad's good enough. The manager's good enough. We have the depth and we have the one important game a week. What more? The stage is set. The stage is set for us. I just hope we take it. But yeah, that's me. Like, subscribe, show your friends, all that good stuff, man. I do enjoy these videos.